everyone. I'm going to try a really lo-fi video abstract of a paper I did recently with my team. It was led by Mollie Tobin, who is an honours student in psychology at the University of Melbourne. We had an opportunity to use something called photovoice, which is a participatory method. We chose this method instead of doing more standard qualitative interviews, and we got really great data, and it was a really fun project to do, so I wanted to share it with the community. So basically what photovoice is that instead of just asking participants questions, you ask them to take photos of an experience or something in their community and then submit those photos to you with a small description. And then when you conduct an interview, you use a specific technique to guide the interview based on those photos. So this study was looking at young women's experiences of behaviour change techniques in mobile apps. We know that young women tend to have bigger declines in physical activity than their male counterparts at this particular age point that we were looking at. And we're interested in how they experience publicly available apps that are there to support them to increase their activity. So we did a lot of work to help us pick what apps we should do, and ended up picking two available apps, FitOn and Map My Fitness Workout Trainer. And we randomly allocated the women we recruited to one of these apps and asked them to send us photos over a couple of weeks. And we chose that small period partly because it was an honours project, but there's pretty good evidence that people do disengage with apps fairly quickly. So we still thought that was reasonably valid. You can see the showed technique here if I look at this table. So when they submit their photos, you get them to select. So they can submit photos all the time. You get them to select, say, up to 4, and then you discuss those. So we adapted this technique. We asked them to describe the photo, what's happening in the photo. This was really useful for looking at behaviour change techniques on apps because they could take a photo of, say, the goal setting page and describe that to us. But it can also be quite creative. So they could take a photo of, a shadow on the wall to describe how they were feeling that day. So it really does elicit some quite interesting data. You do analyze the data in a similar way to what you would if you're used to doing qualitative analyses. So we did a thematic analysis, and you're really analyzing people's responses to those questions, but you can analyze the photos as well. So the paper doesn't include all of the participants' photos, but it does have some examples. So you can see this is 4 photos here that they submitted and the types of things, so you can get a sense of what the facilitators and barriers are, and how they're actually engaging with their friends by sharing elements on the app. And we're able to go through and kind of pull themes out about each of the kind of core behaviour change techniques that were included in the apps. And we got some really interesting finding about how young women experience particular types of notifications and strategies and what's important to them. So I won't go into that in detail. If you're interested in that area, this is a good paper if you're thinking about designing an app for that. But I really just wanted to showcase the photovoice method because I think you get just so much more interesting data than your kind of standard focus group or qualitative thing, and it really empowers the users to go about and help you understand their experiences. And it has foundations in more kind of social disenfranchised communities. And it's starting to be used more in the behaviour change and health services space.